All right. Shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, you are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. All right. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right. Without a shadow of a doubt, man. All right. Now I have this book here. All right. We're going to get into it. It's called Our Living Bible. It's not a Bible. It's a book. It's called Our Living Bible. All right. So let's get into this book. Let's go to page 42. All right. Let me zoom in here. All right, so I'm gonna just get straight into it. All right, it's right here. The subtitles see the young Moses, because we're about to read. All right, during the time of Moses. All right, when the Israelites were in slavery. All right, under the Egyptians, and that's funny because you Negroes here in America, a lot of you like to think that you descend. All right, from the ancient Egyptians. You don't descend from the ancient Egyptians. All right. You Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, all right? You are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, all right? And the Egyptians had the Israelites in slavery, man. All right? The Egyptians are not our people. Egyptians are Hamites. All right? We are not Hamites. We are Shemites. All right? Because everyone on earth comes from one of Noah's three sons, Ham, Shem, Japheth. All right? So everyone on earth is either a Hamite, a Shemite, or a Japhite. The so-called African nations like the Ethiopians, the Egyptians, all right, the Canaanites, all right, they all come from Ham. We don't come from Ham, all right, we come from Shem. All right, that's why the Israelites are known as a Semitic people, or the Jews are known as a Semitic people. That's where the word Semitic comes from. It comes from the Noah's son that was named Shem. Anyone that comes from Shem is a Semitic. All right, the Israelites come from that line because it's not really Semitic, it's Shemitic. All right, the Moabites are also a Semitic people, which will be the Canaanites. All right, and you also got the Ammonites are also a Semitic people. All right, which would be the Japanese. All right, the Ishmaelites are a Semitic people, which would be the so-called Arabs today. The Arabs today. All right, anyone that comes from the seed of Shem is a Shemite, or today would be called a Semite or Semitic, man. All right, but let's get in. This is but that's another lesson for another day. All right, so let's get into it. All right, we're about to get into during the time of Moses. All right, so it says the young Moses. All right, it says the new ruler, all right, began a systematic oppression. Yeah, because during the time of Moses, there was a different Pharaoh than there was during the time of Joseph. All right, that's why it says in Exodus, I got it right here actually. All right, it says Exodus 1:8. It says, now there arose a new king over Egypt, all right, which knew not Joseph. Yeah, because during the time of Joseph, all right, the Pharaoh during his time, all right, made him second command over all of Egypt. But then after the death of Joseph, there arose a new king, all right, that knew not Joseph, all right. And this king of Egypt, this Pharaoh, all right, put the Israelites under hard bondage, hard slavery, right, just like how we went through here in America. All right, it says Exodus 1:8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. You see, so that's why it says right here. All right, the new ruler began a systematic oppression of the Israelites. Yeah, we are oppressed. All right, under the Egyptians, man. The Egyptians had us in hardcore slavery, bro. But you niggas want to think you descend from the Egyptians, man. All right, it says the new ruler began a systematic oppression of the Israelites. They were conscripted as laborers and set to work on great construction schemes. All right, yeah, all right. A lot of those giant monuments you find in Egypt, you got things like the Sphinx and the pyramids and certain tombs. All right, those were constructed by the Israelites. because the Egyptians, all right, had the Israelites under slavery, and we were forced to build their monuments and all their great pillars and all of that, you know. It says they were conscripted, all right, and all of that is recorded in the scriptures. All of that is recorded in the Bible. You find that history in the Bible, man, because the Bible's true history, man. You know, it says they were conscripted as laborers and set to work on construction schemes under the lash of Egyptian taskmasters, all right, to whom their own foremen, all right, the officers of the children of Israel were responsible, all right. This forced labor was also the lot of the Egyptians themselves, who were at all times compelled to provide Pharaoh with manpower, all right. And we're going to get into the scriptures too, all right. It says the great public works of Egypt, the pyramids and fortresses, as well as the various installations regulating the flow of the Nile, depended on their execution on the corvée system. Yeah, all right. Corvée meaning unpaid labor, slavery. All right. So they had us in slavery. It says right here. Let me read this. It says the great works of Egypt, the pyramids and fortresses, as well as the various installations regulating the flow of the Nile, depended for their executions on the corvée system. Yeah, so, all right, we were the ones that built that up. All right, the Israelites were the ones that built all that up in Egypt. The corvée system meaning slavery, unpaid labor. Matter of fact, let me look up that word, corvée. All right, corvée. Yeah, it says right here, corvée is a form of unpaid forced labor. All right, that is intermittent in nature, lasting for limited periods of time. All right, it says unpaid forced labor. All right, and that's what we had to go through. All right, in Egypt, it says, but as far as possible, foreign slaves and prisoners of war were used for this back-breaking work. Yeah, all right. They had us in hardcore bondage, the Israelites. Matter of fact, let's get that in the scriptures. All right, it says right here, starting Exodus 1 and 13. It says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. All right, yeah, we served with straight rigor. All right, they had us in slavery. We had to serve the Egyptians with rigor, meaning extreme and harsh, all right, extreme work. It says, and made their lives bitter with hard bondage. Yeah, hard slavery. All right, this history is recorded in the scriptures. It says, and the Egyptians made, this is true history, bro. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor and made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick. All right, in brick. All right, we're the ones that made the mud bricks. All right, to make their tombs and all their monuments and the pyramids and all of that. All right, it was the Israelites that built those pyramids and did all that, man. All right, the Egyptians weren't even smart enough to do things like that. You know, it tells you that in the there's a man who's a historian. He was a scholar. All right, that goes by the name of Flavius Josephus, who lived during that time, and he wrote he documented all the history down. He said the Egyptians weren't even smart enough, all right, to even do things like that, man. All right, that Abraham made the Egyptians look stupid as hell, man. You know, it says, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field, all their service, all right, wherein they made them serve was with rigor, all right. So they had this in extreme hardcore slavery, man. All right, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor and made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve, all right, was with rigor. All right, with rigor, man. All right, let's look up that word rigor. All right, rigor. All right. It says the quality of being extremely thorough, exhaustive, or accurate. It says severity or strictness, all right? Demanding, difficult, or extreme conditions, all right? So we were under extreme and difficult, demanding, all right, conditions, all right? Slavery. You understand? Slavery. The Egyptians had us in slavery, and Moses, you know, the Lord got us up out of there, man, through Moses, man, by splitting the Red Sea, man. You know, because our people were crying unto the Most High to take us out of this slavery, just like the true prophets of the Lord, the true servants of the Lord. We're crying unto the Lord now to take us out of the slavery that we here in America, this hell that we're living in America. We can't wait for the Most High to destroy this place. Because once he destroys this place, that's the kingdom of heaven. We're going to be kings and gods and rulers on this planet Earth once again. All right, we're never going to cry. Our bodies are never going to ache and pain again. We're going to be, because our people, we never knew what complete rest. We don't know what rest is, real rest. You can get as much sleep as you want. You're still going to be tired and living in hell. We don't know. We're not going to enter into rest until Yahweh Shai cracks that sky, man. All right? But he's only coming back to save the elect. You know, the 144,000. All right? The elect he's coming back to save this time around. All right? He's not coming back to save all of Israel like he did during the time of Moses. All right? When he splitted the Red Sea, man. All right? Because during this time, he saved all of Israel. This time, he's not going to save all of Israel. He's only going to save the elect, the true prophets of the Lord, and the great multitude that follows behind the 144,000. You understand? So let's go back to reading this. It says, but as far as possible, foreign slaves and prisoners of war were used for this back-breaking work. Thus, in the tomb of Rekhmire, the vizier of Tutmosis III, we find lighter-skinned Semites, which they're talking about Israelites, all right, among the workmen making bricks for the restoration of the temple of Ammon at Thebes. All right, didn't we just read in the scriptures, all right, that the Israelites, all right, it says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, and in all manner of service in the field. All right, and that's why you see right here. All right, this is the image. It says right here, painting from the tomb of Rekhmire, 15th century BC. All right, you see the Israelites, all right, making bricks. All right, serving the Egyptians, man. All right, because what we read in the scripture, this is all true history, man. You know? Come on, man. All right. The Israelites, all right, starting with Great Millstone, all right, that teach out on the highways and hedges, all right, and the ones that teach in like manner, like Great Millstone, the affiliate camps, all right, like me, you know? All right. They got the 100% truth, man. You know? We teaching y'all the truth. You Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, the truth. It's time to come back to the Most High, because he's getting ready to destroy this place. But as far as possible, foreign slaves and prisoners of war were used for this back-breaking work. Thus, in the tomb of Rekhmire, the vizier, all right, of Tutmosis III, we find lighter-skinned Semites among the working, making bricks for the restoration of the temple of Ammon at Thebes. The men are shown taking from a water pool, mixing it with mud, pouring the mixture into molds, and carrying the bricks up to the temple, structures, and you see that right here. And this is taken from the tomb, painting from the tomb of Rekhmire, 15th century BC. All right. So these things are, you see these things on the walls of the tombs, the walls of the pyramids. You know what the Egyptians did to the Israelites, which is recorded in the scriptures as well, man. The his you don't understand, man. The history that we read in the scriptures, this is real history. All right, all the people who read in the Bible, all right, Moses, King Solomon, King David, Joshua, all right, Samson, these are our forefathers, man. You know, all these stories are true. All right, it says right here, it says, they are supervised by a taskmaster. Yeah, because that's also script in the scriptures too, that the Egyptians set taskmasters over the children of Israel. All right, it says who stands ready with his staves, all right, to force them to work without the slightest slackening of effort. Yeah, we were bro, bro, they yo, we had to serve them with great strictness, man. All right, with great, it says right here, they are supervised by a taskmaster, all right, who stands ready with his staffs to force them to work without slightest slackening of effort. Yeah, we always had to give it our all. There couldn't be no slightest of slack. We couldn't look tired. All right, we were in hard bondage. Hard bondage, all right? All right? It says, and the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, all right, and made their lives bitter with hard bondage, all right, hard bondage, man, all right. So let's go back, all right, and they made it even harder. After it was hard, they made it even more harder, all right. It talks about that in Exodus the 5th chapter. I'm gonna get that in a sec. It says, such must have been the harsh fate of the Hebrews. You see? Such must have been the harsh fate of the Hebrews enslaved by the Egyptians. All right? It says they are supervised by a taskmaster, like you see right here. All right? It says they are supervised by a taskmaster who stands ready with his staffs. All right? To force them to work with this without the slightest slackening of effort. Such must have been the harsh fate of the Hebrews enslaved by the Egyptians. Yeah, all right. The Israelites were enslaved. We were enslaved by the Egyptians, man. This history is recorded in the scriptures. Goes to show you that the Egyptians not our people, but you Negroes want to think that you're the Egyptians, man. That you're Africans. You descend from the ancient Egyptians and all that bullshit. You niggas is something else, man. All right, you niggas want to believe everything but the truth. You want to call on every God but the true God. You know? It says this hard labor, however, weakened only the adult males. There was still a danger that the Israelites would continue to increase in number because of their high birth rate. Now, let's get Exodus the 5th chapter. All right. Exodus the 5th chapter, the 9th verse. All right, Exodus 5 and 9. All right, to prove to you, because it says right here. All right, it says such must have been the harsh fate of, yeah, because that was the punishment of the Most High, being enslaved by the Egyptians. All right, that was one of the first major captivities we went through. All right, then we went into captivity under the Assyrians. Then we went into captivity. Excuse me. Then we went to captivity under the Babylonians. Then we went into the captivity under the Medo-Persian Empire. Then we went into captivity under the Greeks. And then we went to captivity under the Romans, which both empires were ruled by Edomites. All right, the Greek Empire and the Roman Empire. And now we're under the captivity here in America, which were also Edomites. All right. So the Edomites had us in captivity, all right, for 3 captivities in a row, which America is the Roman Empire coming back. All right. America is the last leg, the reincarnation of the Roman Empire. All right. The Roman Empire was the deadly wound that was healed. All right. In Revelation, the 13th chapter. How was it healed? When it came back as America. All right. It says right here. It says this hard labor. All right. Oh, matter of fact, let me get what was I going to get? Exodus 5 and 9. All right. I'll read to verse 14, all right? Because the work was already hard, and then they even made it harder, all right, on us. It says, let their work be, it says, this is Exodus 5 and 9, all right? No, I start at 6, my bad. I start at 6. Exodus 5 and 6, it says, and Pharaoh commanded, all right, Pharaoh's a title. Pharaoh's, a title for the king of Egypt, all right? I think during this time, the Pharaoh of Egypt was Ramses, all right? Matter of fact, let me look it up, all right? Let's look it up, all right? Ramses, who was the Pharaoh during the time of Moses, all right? It says Ramses the second. All right, Ramses II or Ramses the Great is the most common figure for the Exodus Pharaoh, as Ramses is mentioned in the Bible, all right, as a place name, all right, and because of the other lines of contextual evidence. All right, so it says, and Pharaoh commanded the same day that taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, let me read that again. It says Exodus 5 and 6, because again, we were already in hard bondage, but Pharaoh kept increasing the burden and the affliction of slavery on us, man. He kept making it harder and harder and harder. We had to go through hard bondage in Egypt, man. And the Egyptians gonna have to pay for that when Yahushua comes back. The true Egyptians, all right. Exodus 5 and 6, all right. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, ye shall no more give the people straw to make brick as heretofore. Let them go and gather straw for themselves. So he made it harder for us, all right. And the tale of the bricks which they did make heretofore, ye shall lay upon them, ye shall not diminish aught thereof. For they be idle, therefore they cry, saying, let us go and sacrifice to our God. Yeah, so we didn't get no breaks, man. All right. Let therefore more work be laid upon the men, you see, that they may labor therein, and let them not regard vain words. All right. And the taskmasters of the people went out, and their officers, all right, and they spake to the people, saying, thus saith Pharaoh, I will not give you straw. Yeah, because before they got the straw for us, then he said, nah, let them fetch their own straw. He just kept making the bondage harder and harder. All right, it says, go ye, get you straw where ye can find it, yet not aught of your work shall be diminished. All right. So the people were scattered abroad throughout all the land of Egypt to gather stubble instead of straw. And the taskmasters hasted them, saying, fulfill your works, your daily tasks, as when there was straw. So we still had to fill our daily quota, all right, after they made it even harder. Because before we didn't have to fetch our own straw. Now they made it to where we had to fetch our own straw, made it even more harder. And we still had to complete the daily quota as if we already had the straw. As it says right here, and the taskmasters hasted them, saying, fulfill your works, your daily tasks, as when there was straw. So even though we had to get our own straws now, we still had to complete like how we did before when we had the straw. Just straight hard bondage, man. Hard bondage that we had to do. All right, let's get Exodus. That's Exodus the 5th chapter. Let's get Exodus the 2nd chapter, or the 1st chapter, excuse me. All right. Exodus 1 and 13 again. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. All right. And made their lives bitter with hard bondage. In mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. All right, so they made us serve with great rigor, man. Hard and strict slavery. All right. And they going, you and you people, yeah, oh man, bro. And you niggas, y'all just want to love everybody, huh? You want to love the people that had us in sleep. You just want to love everybody. It tells you in Psalms 83rd chapter that all these nations had their hand in the cookie jar when it comes to their slavery, our slavery. Egyptians had us in slavery, all right? The Persians had us in slavery, all right? The Ethiopians had us in slavery. You know? The Edomites have us in slavery during the Greeks, the Romans, and during this time too. You know? All right. Now let's continue. It says this hard labor, however, weakened only the adult males. There was still a danger that the Israelites would continue to increase in number because of their high birth rate. Yeah, because we filled the entire land of Israel. I mean, Egypt. When we were slaves in Egypt, man. It tells you that in, let me see real quick. I forgot what verse it was. All right, verse 7. Yeah, it says, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceedingly mighty. All right. And the land was filled with them. Yeah, all right. The land of Egypt was filled with the nation of Israel, man. It was filled with the Israelites, man. All right. It says, where am I at? It says, Pharaoh therefore decided to order, all right, that every male Hebrew child should be killed at birth. Yeah, because he was trying to get rid of the Israelites, all right, because they filled the land like we just read, all right. Pharaoh was trying to get rid of the nation of Israel because they filled the entire land, and you know, it vexed them, man. You know, it vexed the Israelite, it vexed the Egyptians, all right, that Israel filled the entire land of Egypt, man. All right, that's why he was trying to kill all the firstborns, which were, I mean, not the firstborn, all the male children, all right, because your lineage comes from the man, your father, all right. That's who carries the seed, all right. That's why he was trying to get rid of the men and not the women. Because you know, once you get rid of if you get rid of the men, all right, the male children, all right, that's how you eradicate a nation, man, by getting rid of all the men, by slaughtering all the men. All right, because your inheritance, your pedigree, your lineage, it comes from the man, your father. It goes through the man, all right, because life comes from men, not women. It's the man that carries the seed. All right, it tells you that in the book of Numbers, the 1st chapter, the 2nd chapter, Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter. You know, he was trying to eradicate the nation of Israel by getting rid of all the male children, the newborn male children, and we're gonna read that in a second. It says, this hard labor, however, weakened only the adult males. All right. There was still a danger that Israelites would continue to increase in number because of their high birth rate. Pharaoh therefore decided to order that every male Hebrew child should be killed at birth. Yep. Because that's how a nation carries on, through the men, through the man, through the boys. All right. But it was, in fact, from among the babes born in that dark time of oppression that the future deliverer of Israel came. Here talking about Moses. All right, so now let's get Exodus, the 1st chapter, starting at the 15th verse, because that's biblical, we just read. It says, and the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shiphrah, all right, Shiphrah, all right, and the name of the other was Puah. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Yeah, because he was trying to get rid of the nation of Israel. He's trying to destroy the nation of Israel. All right, because your inheritance, all right, who you are, all right, is from the man. All right. It says the biblical story relates that when a son was born of Amram, the tribe of Levi, the mother hid the child as long as she could, talking about Moses. All right. When this was no longer possible, she made an ark. Yeah. and a ark of bulrushes which abounded in the banks of the Nile, and set it down among the flags by the river. Yeah, because again they were trying to get rid of the all the Israelite sons, the Israelite men. All right, the children, the sons that were born. All right, the ark. So she had to hide Moses. All right, in an ark in a bush. All right, the ark was probably a kind of basket protected against the water. Excuse me, let me read that again. It says the ark was probably a kind of basket protected against the water by pitch, a raw material easily available in Egypt and constantly used for the making of mummies. All right, baskets skillfully woven out of reeds have been found preserved in many of the Egyptian tombs and give us a clear idea of the shape of the ark. Moreover, many of the tomb paintings, all right, show plants, mostly lotus and papyrus, growing in profusion along the banks of the Nile, with birds perching on the thickets. In such places, the ark could have remained unobserved for a long time. In this particular case, however, it was noticed by the daughter of Pharaoh while she was walking with her maids along the riverside. The princess, all right, had compassion on the babe, talking about Moses, and unknowingly called its own mother to be its foster nurse. When the child grew up, he was adopted into her household and called Moses, from the Egyptian word mos, meaning son, but which in the Bible is interpreted as being from a Hebrew word and meaning Hebrew root and meaning drawn out of water. Yeah, because Moses comes from the Hebrew word masha. It's a Hebrew. It's Hebrew masha, which means drawn, or like it says right here, drawn out of the water, because he was taken out of the water. All right, though that's an omen nomen. All right, a prediction name. That's what you call an omen nomen, a prediction name or a name prediction. All right, because he had to be hid amongst the alongside the riverbank, alongside the river. All right. It says, although Moses grew up as a young Egyptian, yeah, because he grew up in the king's house. So even though he was an Israelite, he grew up as an Egyptian, like the Egyptian in the Egyptian way. All right, it says, although Moses grew up as a young Egyptian, he was conscious of his true descent. Yeah, he knew he was an Israelite, even though he grew up in Pharaoh's house. All right, he knew he was still an Israelite. It says, once happening to see a Hebrew being merciless, beaten by an Egyptian taskmaster. Yeah, because you got to remember, the Egyptians, all right, had the Israelites in slavery. All right, and Moses knew that he was an Israelite. It made him mad. It made him angry as hell to see an Israelite being struck, all right, by any Egyptian, man, because they had us in slavery. We was being whipped and all of that, man. All right, although Moses grew up as a young Egyptian, he was conscious of his true descent. Once happening to see a Hebrew, all right, he's seen a fellow Hebrew, all right, being mercilessly beaten by an Egyptian taskmaster, he became so enraged that he slew the Egyptian. Yeah, he's seen his own people being beat, man, that it made him mad. So he killed the Egyptian. Matter of fact, let's get that. That's in Exodus, the second chapter. All right, starting at the 11th verse. Let's get that. It says, and it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out unto his brethren, yeah, the Israelites, and looked on their burdens, and he spied an Egyptian smiting a Hebrew, all right, one of his brethren. Yeah, so he's seen an Egyptian, all right, beating up an Israelite, man. It says one of his brethren, all right, and he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Yeah, so he killed him, man, because he was angry, man. He seen his own people being destroyed. All right, and when he went out the second day, behold, two men of the Hebrews strove together, and he said to him that he did wrong. Wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? All right. And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Intendest thou to kill me as thou killest the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. So that's why he had to flee, right? Because it was the talk of the city, man. All right. It was, the word got out that he killed an Egyptian. All right. So it says, such brutal oppression might have been an unusual sight to a young man delicately brought up at the court. Yeah, because he was right for doing that, man. The scriptures say oppression makes a wise man mad. Moses seen his people being oppressed. It made him angry as hell. He had to kill that Egyptian, man. Nigga was probably saying, what the fuck is you doing hitting my people? We just read in the scriptures that he looked one way, looked the other to make sure nobody was around, and he killed that mug. All right? But you, a lot of you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, y'all are happy slaves, man. You love your oppressor. You love Esau, Edom. You love the so-called white man. You love the devil, even though you're slaves. See? All right? Moses was in his right mind. He was angry as hell seeing his people being enslaved. But you niggas want to love your damn slave master. A lot of you happy slaves, y'all some coon ass niggas, man. Telling you for real. All right? Y'all some coon ass niggas, man. You know? You supposed to hate being the fact that you enslaved, man. The scriptures say oppression makes a wise man mad. You supposed to be angry, man, that you in slavery, man. You supposed to hate your damn oppressor, your enemy, man. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is that number one enemy to you Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, man. All right? Let's get that. Surely, oppression makes a wise man mad. Let's get that, bro. All right? Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. All right? Now, this is King Solomon speaking. All right? King Solomon was the wisest man to ever live before Yahushua came. You know? And that's the same spirit. King Solomon is Yahushua in Yahushua's past life. That's how you know that, because he was the wisest man to ever live twice. All right, Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad. Yeah, and a gift destroyeth the heart. That's right. A gift destroys the heart. People like to give you a gift, all right, to oppress, you know, to calm down your you know, your anger. It destroys your heart. All right? It keeps you docile. You know? Surely oppression makes a wise man mad. And that's exactly happened with Moses. He was mad as hell seeing his people being oppressed. But a lot of you niggas love your damn enemy, your damn oppressor. How you gonna love someone that has you in slavery? How you gonna love your slave master? Nigga. A lot of you cool niggas love Esau, Edom. A lot of y'all love the white man. Shit crazy out here. All right. Such brutal oppression might have been an unusual sight to a young man delicately, all right, brought up at the court. But in everyday life in Egypt, especially among the lower classes, the use of physical force was a regular occurrence, right? This was the method by which taxes were extracted from the peasants and slaves driven on the greater efforts. All right, you kind of see that here happening today, because what happens when you don't pay taxes here? They put you in jail. You know? You know? Shit like that, all right? It says, in a painting from the tomb of, I don't know how to pronounce this word. In the painting from the tomb Puyemri at Thebes, for example, we see slaves making wine, a bearded Semite driving bearded Semite meaning a Hebrew, all right, an Israelite, a bearded Semite driving cattle, and one of the other workers being beaten by an overseer. Yep. As you see right here. This is from the tomb of, painting from the tomb of Puyemri, Thebes, Egypt, 15th century BC. All right. And it even has the scriptures right here, Exodus 2 and 11, like we was reading. All right. Wow. All right. It says, fearing royal retribution. As soon as it says, fearing royal retribution, as soon as his deed became known. Yeah, because like I said, like we read in the scriptures, all right, he said, surely this thing is known, all right. The word that he killed an Egyptian got around, so he had to flee, man. All right, it says, fearing royal retribution, as soon as his deed became known to the Pharaoh through talebearers among his own people, Moses fled to the eternal safe retreat of outcasts from ancient society and of those in revolt against authority. All right, the wilderness. In this case, it was in the desert of Sinai, inhabited by the Midianites, who were of Semitic stock like himself, that young Moses, all right, found refuge, having helped the daughter of Jethro and or Ruel, all right, the priest of Midian, all right, who were tending the flocks of their father, all right. He was adopted into the family and married one of them, all right, moving from place to place in search of pasture, all right, with the flocks of his father-in-law. Moses eventually penetrated into the mountains of the central Sinai range, all right, where vegetation survives in the Sinai summer longer than in the more parched plains. All right, so it says right here, having helped the daughters of Jethro and Ruel, the priests of Midian, who were tending the flocks of their fathers, he was adopted into the family and married one of them. Yeah, because he had a kid with them and named him Gershom. All right, the word Gershom means stranger. All right, because his son was born in a foreign land, a strange land. All right, so let's read that real quick. All right, let's read that. What's that? Exodus 2:15. All right, it says, now when Pharaoh heard these things, he sought to slay Moses. All right, but Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came to drew water. All right, and they came and drew water and filled. Let me read that again. It says, now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs, all right, to water their father's flock, all right, and the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock, all right. And when they came to Ruel, their father, he said, how is it that ye are come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian delivered us. Yeah, they mistaken Moses as an Egyptian. All right, is not Egypt in Africa? Right? Aren't so-called Africans black, so-called black people? Goes to show you that the Israelites are so-called black people. How can an Israelite be mistaken as an Egyptian? Right? Because they're the same color. Just because you're the same color don't mean you're the same people. Not all so-called black people are the same, man. All right? You Negroes here in America are not Africans, man. Are not so-called Africans. You don't descend from Ham. All right? And they said an Egyptian delivered us. Yeah, so Moses was mistaken as an Egyptian. All right, why is that? Because they were both so-called dark people. The Egyptians were the Egyptians were so-called black people, and the Israelites were so-called black people. And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock. All right, and he said unto his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that ye have left the man? Call him that he may eat bread. And Moses was content to dwell with the man, and he gave Moses Zipporah his daughter, and she bare him a son, and called his name Gershom. All right, for he said, I have been a stranger in a strange land. Yeah, all right. That's why he named him Gershom, right, which means stranger, right? His son was born in a strange land, in a foreign land. All right, so let's continue reading. It says, it was there that he saw the vision of the burning bush, in which he was ordered by God to return to Egypt, deliver his people from the bondage of Pharaoh. Yeah, so he had to return back to Egypt because he was chosen by the Most High, all right, to deliver the Israelites, all right, out of the land of Egypt, man, from that hard slavery, that they had to go through, man. All right, because they kept crying unto the Most High, get us out of this slavery, just like we're crying unto the Most High now. All right, the true prophets and the true servants of the Lord are crying unto the Most High now. All right, to save us out of this hellhole. All right, when we were crying unto the Lord to not destroy us. All right, when He comes back, man. Right, to deliver us out of this hellhole that we're living in, man. Because we want the kingdom of heaven. We want to get dropped back, bro. We tired of this hell. We're living it. We're in these chains of darkness, which is our bodies. All right. You know, we're mentally, emotionally, and physically in pain. We're living in hell. We got to see a bunch of faggot and wicked gay shit every fucking where. A bunch of delusional. This world is fucking whack, bro. Especially here in America. America is finished, bro. If you want to continue here, I don't know. We're eating garbage food. The food that we eating is garbage. You know? This is hell that we're living in, man. We're crying unto the Lord to take us out of here, to destroy it. This place gotta go. It really does, bro. There's no hope for America. When you see, bro, when you see how the people are in this place, bro, this place is complete delusion. All right, it's nothing but confusion and delusion. That's all America is. That's why America is known as Babylon in the Bible, because the word Babylon comes from the Hebrew word babal, which means confusion. It says, deliver his people, all right, from hard bondage of Pharaoh and lead them to their promised land, Canaan. Yeah, because Canaan was part of the Holy Land. All right, Canaan is actually the Holy Land. All right, it says, in this theophany, the Most High also revealed to Moses his true name and recalled the solemn covenant he made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the patriarchal ancestors of the people of Israel. Yep. All right. The promise only went to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. It didn't go to nobody else. It says, in obedience to the divine command, Moses returned to Egypt, where a new king had in the meantime succeeded to the throne. Yeah, because remember, I think this is talk about, yeah, how there was a new king that rose up that knew not Joseph. All right. All right. Or I think that's what this is talking about, if I'm not mistaken. All right. In obedience, all right, to the divine command, Moses returned to Egypt, all right, where a new king in the meantime succeeded the throne. Let me watch this. Let me let's get it again. All right. Let me go to Google real quick. All right. Nigga, we not talking about the Quran, bitch. Niggas want to talk about the fucking Quran. Fuck the Quran. Fuck you talking about? All right. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, because you had Ramses, right? You had Ramses the second. All right. The search results suggest that Moses in the time of Egypt span. All right. It says during this period, several Moses ruled Egypt. It says Ramses the second. All right. Some scholars believe that Exodus has King Ramses II in mind as Pharaoh who knew Joseph and later oppressed the Israelites. Yep. No, because the scriptures say that the Pharaoh didn't know Joseph. You know what I mean? The scriptures say that there was a new Pharaoh that came that did not know Joseph. So what the hell are you talking about, man? Matter of fact, let's get that again, bro. All right, let's get that again, bro. All right, let's get that, bro. Fuck that shit, bro. You're not gonna be fucking lied to, nigga. All right, Exodus 1. Bro, Exodus 1:7, bro. What the fuck you talking about? That new Joseph, it says. It says Exodus 1:8, and now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph, not that he knew him. All right, it says Ramses II. Some scholars believe so. This had to be the because they say this is the Pharaoh that ruled during the time of Moses. All right, Thutmose II. All right, his mummy is notable for displaying cyst, which could be evidence of plagues that spread through Egypt and Hittite empires during Moses. Amenhotep II, all right, the second, all right, he claimed to have brought tens of thousands of slaves from the Levant to Egypt, which could be related to the Israelites' presence in Egypt. All right. I gotta do more. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm about to dig deep. All right, and then if it be the Lord's will, I'll do a video on that. All right, about all the the pharaohs that lived during this time, during the time of Exodus. All right, the kings of Egypt that lived during the times of Exodus. Because I want to be on point with it. All right, on point with it, bro. Because we study hard over here, bro. The scriptures say, study to show thyself approved. That's another verse. Let me get that, bro. All right. Approved. Let's get that, man. Let's get that. All right. Yeah, 2 Timothy the 15th chapter. Yeah, study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. Yeah, studying what? The scriptures. All right, and things outside of the scriptures that line up with the scriptures. All right, study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High. Yeah, because the scriptures also say, be not ignorant. All right, let's get that too. All right, be not ignorant in any matter, small or great. Yeah, right. Ecclesiasticus 5:15. All right, Ecclesiasticus 5:15. Be not ignorant of anything. All right, yeah, we supposed to be knowledgeable out here, man. As the prophets of the Most High, we got to be knowledgeable out here. All right, be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small. Yeah, so we got to know what the hell we talking about, man. All right, especially when it comes to the scriptures. You can't be teaching the scriptures, all right, and not know what the hell you talking about. You understand? So if it be the Lord's will, I'll dig deep into it. I'll get into it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll bring it out. I think that'll be a dope lesson. You feel me? But I hope this lesson was edifying. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. All right. Raktazah. I hope this lesson was edifying. All right. So I want to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All right. Call Halayim Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Quitash. All right. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you. You Negroes, you Latinos, you Native Americans, you Seminole Indians, West Indians, Haitians, and Brazilians. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so with that being said, until the next one, shalom, shalom.